Hello, YouTube. This is your girl, Karmika Boom, broadcasting live from out here in these streets. And I still have a cold. I was going to talk about something else, but I felt compelled to talk about this instead. In the spirit of Black History Month, while all other black people here on YouTube are talking about foolishness, I thought that I would talk about something substantial and of substance, such as, ooh, please bear with me. I still have this terrible, wretched cold and cough that is trying to interfere with the video, but we are strengthened by God and we will get through it. So, in the spirit of Black History Month, let's talk about one of our ancestors, such as Mary Kenner. But before we talk about her, which is a forgotten black woman inventor who revolutionized menstrual pads, I would like to highlight some other inventors, whoever invented the hot hands. I see that there are several different versions of this, and I really like these. And some stores even carry the bigger ones that are for your body. I guess you could use it for a heating pad, a little mini heating pad, or put it in your shoe or your sock. And I really like these. They're very convenient and they do come in handy. And whoever invented these, I salute you. I don't know who invented these, but I see there's two different versions here, and there may even be many, many more. So, shout out to all of the inventors, regardless of the color, and shame on the inventors that have been stealing the inventions of black inventors for a number of years. Shame on y'all and taking credit for my ancestors' inventions. And I would like to acknowledge my own inventor spirit. For a long time, ever since I've been a little girl, I've always thought of different inventions. And I had one of my own inventions stolen when I was 11 years old. Shame on that person. It made no good come to them. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything about patents and copyrights, trademarks, securing your brand and all of that. I had no idea about all of that kind of stuff. So the thief was able to get away with it, and I was a vulnerable little girl, a child, and they exploited my not naivety, I guess you could say it like that, and took advantage of me, being that I did not know what was involved in, the creation of inventions and securing inventions and licensing and all of that. But anyway, God has still blessed me to keep on thinking of more inventions. This brain doesn't stop working. That's the magnificence of the God that I have inside of me. He just keeps on thinking of new ideas all the time. And one of these days, we're going to put one of these products out on the market and make the world a better place. Oh my God. And shout out to whoever invented the heater. I am so crazy about you, whoever you are. Man, a lot of people don't like a lot of heat, but I'm not one of those type of people. I love to have the heat on full blast, as high as it will go. And right now, for some people, 80 degrees will be too much. And that's one of the things that me and my husband fight about all the time. He can't stand heat. And even though I'm sitting in here sweating, I refuse to turn it down. I cannot stand to feel cold air in the winter time. That lets me know that I am not a descendant from the Caucasus Mountains. Like a lot of the pale people are. And I guess it's part of my African heritage, from the tropical climate. And excuse me, I've always like walking around bare feet, and I could wear flip flops year round. I can't stand being cold and having a whole lot of clothes on me. I can't stand it. But I am still respectful with my attire, unlike a lot of females who walk around half naked and naked. I don't go that far with it. I'm still decent and in order. So let's talk about what we came to talk about. Mary Kenner. I really, really found this story so fascinating. I saw it on Instagram earlier, and I did post about it on my Instagram page. And I said, you know what? Why don't I just do a video about it and highlight this African American hero, Shiro, if you would like to say it like that. So let's find out what Mary Kenner invented and how it revolutionized and pioneered the feminine product world. So, Mary Kenner is a forgotten black woman inventor who revolutionized menstrual products. Y'all, excuse me. Somebody needs to revolutionize some kind of way to lay this piece of hair down. Right here, it's bothering me. Oh my God. Mm. Oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Oh, I'm just, hold on. I'm just full of mucus. Mucus, mucus, mucus. Somebody need to find a way and find an invention to get all this mucus out of me. I'm so sick of it. Where is Dr. Seaby at? They killed him. Another wonderful black inventor who revolutionized the world of everything. And then they want to take credit for everything he invented. But that's a whole nother video, right? Hold on. I got to get all this mucus in check. I'm going to put this on mute. Unmute. Okay. Hello. Hello, Willette. Hello, everybody that's in the chat. Whew. I am trying my best to fight this cold. So bear with me. My voice is a little hoarse and my throat is so sore and blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's talk about Mary Kenner. Okay, let me say this, there are two kinds of females in the world. There are those females who prefer tampons, and there are the females who prefer maxi pads. I cannot stand maxi pads. I never have like maxi pads, and I just can't stand them because it is so disgusting to me to feel the blood coming out and coming down. I know that's too much information, but it's natural, a fact of life for most females. And I'd rather just plug it up. I might feel a little bit of it anyway, but I'd rather just plug it up and go on about my business and check on it every 2 hours or so and be done with it, you know, and have to babysit it every so often for those 3 to 5 days. And oh my God, I am not looking forward to that foolishness around the corner. And I know that it's getting ready to come because I start getting these little bumps around my chin, and there it goes. And a lot of times it comes when we least expect it. A lot of times it likes to come when we got on some white pants or some tan pants. It's so low down. It'll wait just as good till I got on some white pants and doing something that, I don't have time to go and deal with that. It's real low down. But anyway, when it comes, we gotta stop and deal with it. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. It's a part of being a woman. And I wouldn't want to be anything else other than what God created me to be. Some people opt out of being a woman, but I love being a woman. Thank God for being a woman. So let's talk about Mary Kenner. In the late 1950s, tampons were available to women, but they were frowned upon. It was even considered indecent to wear them at the time. Clots or different types of ranges were used, but that method was unsanitary and inconvenient. Mary Kenner, a black inventor from Monroe, North Carolina, who was inspired by her dad to discover new things in 1956, she invented the sanitary belt, which basically gave women a better alternative for dealing with their periods slash menstrual cycles, whichever you prefer to call it. And interesting enough, I've been hearing that men also have menstrual cycles. Did y'all know that? Except they don't bleed. They have a sort of spiritual menstrual cycle. And I believe that that's true because they go through so many mood changes around certain times of the month. I believe that's true. But I don't have any facts to back that up. So you all can study and find out more about that if you're interested all by yourself. Okay, the sanitary belts also included moisture proof napkin pockets for comfort. It didn't become a patent until 30 years after she had invented it. They still, you know what, in my opinion, a lot of the non-black people, they probably still found a way to steal her invention and take credit for it like they have done so many of the inventions by blacks. Awful. So the company that was initially interested in the invention rejected her once they found out she was black. Wow, that's so sad. Like it has happened so many times with our black inventors. In 1982, Kenner obtained a patent for an improved version of the bathroom tissue holder. Her design kept the loose end of the tissue roll away from the body. Mrs. Kenner's goal was never to make a lot of money, and her mission was to make people's lives easier through her inventions. Excuse me. And you can find out more about this at www.womenexceeding.com. This has been a very, very interesting story indeed. I'm very glad that I ran across this on Instagram. You see, Instagram isn't just porn, they do have some interesting stuff over there that are, you know, interesting and of substance. It's not all trash, but 99% of it is trash. So there are some sites over there on Instagram that are intellectually driven. You just have to dig through it just like most trash and, find the good in all that bad. So I have shared this story before with you all, and there has been some compromising on my channels because of so much jealousy. So I guess it's worth reiterating the story in case it is not on my other channel. When I was young and I first started my own menstrual cycle, oh my gosh, I thought I was pregnant. See, this is a result of, a time when most families did not subject the children to topics such as sexually explicit topics, or even natural bodily functions and such. I came from a very religious family, and they were very decent and upstanding people in the community, and we just didn't talk about stuff like that. Unlike a lot of families who just have loose lips and just sit up and say all kind of trashy stuff, we didn't do that kind of stuff. So a lot of things were sheltered from me, and I had very little knowledge about, sex education. And the only type of way that what I found out was through my friends at school and sneaking around looking at the porn magazine that was under my siblings' beds or on the bus. The older children was touching on each other on the bus and dry hunching on the bus and talking all kind of filthy stuff on the bus or on the playground. So that's primarily how I obtained a lot of my sex education when I was a young girl. And I thought I was pregnant when my menstrual cycle came on. And I was so afraid because I just knew my mom would kill me, right? And she always told me, don't you bring no babies in this house. Because a lot of my other sisters, my older sisters, who I don't claim right now, they had already gotten pregnant as teenagers, and she didn't want me to follow in their footsteps and create a bigger burden on the family financially and otherwise. And she really stayed on me about keeping your dress tail down. Don't bring no babies in this house. And she meant business. I knew she meant it. And all I could think about was, damn, where am I going to put this baby? And I think I was like 9 years old. I came on very early because, when I don't know if it was because I was promiscuous at a young age or what, or was that normal for my particular body for me to come on that young? I don't know. But nonetheless, I was about 9 years old when my cycle came on. I was either 9 or 10, something like that. And oh my God, I was just looking all over the house and the bathroom for a place to hide the baby when it came. So I can understand to a certain degree why some young girls hide the baby and bury the baby in the backyard and all that kind of stuff when they get pregnant and deliver the baby, because you're so nervous and scared. At that age I can understand why they do that to a certain degree. I don't understand totally, but a part of me kind of understands because I was preparing to hide it myself. And don't ask me how I was going to get rid of everything else. I didn't even think that far into it. But I was riding my bicycle one fine day, and I felt something strange in the seat of my panties. So I got off the bike and went inside to check on myself in the bathroom in the house. And lo and behold, there it was. And I had never seen this in my panties. And I said, oh my God. So immediately I started um, using tissue, thick pieces of tissue or socks to, soak up the blood. And I would hide it behind my mom's bed. Me and my mom, we shared the bed. I would sleep with my mom at the time. But I wasn't counting on my mother moving the bed. Every season when spring or summer or winter would come around, she would move the bed and clean the room up real good. And while I was at school one day, my mother moved that bed and found all of that tissue and all of those socks full of blood And when I came home that day, she asked me in a very kind way, in very concerning and caring way, why didn't you tell me, honey? And I was so embarrassed nonetheless. I didn't want to talk about that. And thank God she didn't pressure me to talk about it. And that same day, a few hours later, she wanted me to go with her to the store to pick out some maxi pads. I was too embarrassed. I didn't want to do it. And she didn't make me. So she went and got the maxi pads with wings. They had just came out on the market, and I had been seeing the commercial during the breaks on Days of Our Lives, the soap opera. And I thought that was really interesting. The maxi pads with wings. And I was like, wow. And when my mom brought them, she didn't force me to talk about it. She just said, these are for you whenever you get ready to use them. So in my alone time, I looked in the bag and checked them out. And I realized I was becoming a woman. And that was really a special moment to me. And I was like, wow. And I was smelling the maxi pads, and they really smell good, like baby powder or something. And it made me feel really connected to my body. And I was really comfortable, getting into it that way, being by myself. And I didn't want to talk about it and share that moment with my mom. And I'm glad that she didn't force me. But in time, I gradually began to talk to her about it more. And I really like that we did the process that way. She didn't force me. She didn't make me feel embarrassed. And we never talked about those socks or those tissues behind her bed. She knew I was embarrassed. And we just left it at that. But there are so many other females who encounter this part of womanhood in different kinds of ways, and they pretty much have to figure it out all by themselves. And so many of them never grasp the whole idea of feminine hygiene. They never. I have seen so many females on jobs, at school, etc., at the mall, at Walmart bathroom, etc. They go in there and they just make a mess with their menstrual cycle. And other people, excuse me, other people should not be included in your menstrual cycle business. And I have seen, and I did a video not long ago, and I showed you all how somebody in a public bathroom, they had went in there, some female had went in there and tended to her menstrual cycle business and left the tissue face up with the maxi pad face up. I don't want to see that when I go in the bathroom. And nobody should be, oh, excuse me, nobody should be subjected to that. And so many of these females are having sex and dating and marrying and having children, and they are lacking that one area in their lives, which is very important. That's a part of being a woman. You got to know how to take care of yourself at that time of the month. And so many of these females, they put the maxi pad in the toilet and stop up the plumbing in the toilet everywhere they go, and put the tampons in the toilet, and it's just a mess. They don't even have the mind to wrap up the maxi pad with tissue. Wrap up the max excuse me, wrap up the tampon with tissue. Those are things that you're supposed to learn when you are a preteen or a teenager. But it's never too late as long as you are alive and you're still a female. You know? And it's better learning it later than never learning it at all. And as women, cleanliness should be a top priority, and being decent with your blood, that should be a top priority. And according to the Bible, and I know a lot of people, especially a lot of females, don't believe or follow the Bible, but I do. And according to the Bible, during your menstrual cycle, we are considered to be unclean. But a lot of these females just sit anywhere during their cycle and just be stanking all over the place and wearing white and wearing skirts and wearing dresses, just still having sex. And that's out of order. That is out of order. And it's so many diseases that could get into the equation when you have leaking blood coming out of you and having sex and letting guys put their fingers all up in you and you know you bleed. Oh my God, my God. And so many guys have attempted to try that mess with me. You got to have a brain to say no yourself. You got to have a brain to know that that is very indecent. That is very immoral, you know? And, you know, I could go on and on and on about that, but I'm going to stop right there and just say that's out of order. And we got to do better as human beings because it's a lot of things that we do that even animals don't do. And when we go below the surface and do things that are more wretched than animals, we have really fallen as a race of people, in my opinion. But anyway, we all have our own experiences as females as it relates to dealing with our menstrual cycle. And I'm so glad to share my experience. And some females, they stop bleeding early, and some of them just go on and on and on and on. And I have heard a lot of females say that they bleed the whole entire month. Something is wrong with you if you bleed the whole entire month. And see, I think, in my opinion, that a lot of that may come from letting guys just dig all off in you and bang you to the wall and back. You got to be careful of how deep you let these guys go in you because they will mess you up. They'll mess your flooring up. And then when they mess you up and you have to get a hysterectomy and all that, you just all compromise as a woman. And you don't want that to happen to you. And, you know, it is what it is. But I guess I'm entering the season whereas, a lot of us call menopause. I've been having hot flashes and I'm not sure about how I feel about that. Am I ready to say goodbye to my menstrual cycle for good? Because it's been with me for so long. We've been going a long way. So I'm having to adjust to a new cycle of life. And, I don't know what that new phase of life will be because I've never been there. And, it is what it is. But I was thinking about another journey as it relates to womanhood the other day while I was in Walmart. And, I like to look at the little children's clothes. They have such beautiful little children's clothes. Some of them are not age appropriate, in my opinion. But I was thinking about, do I feel left out because that's a part of me that I have not participated in as far as the cycle of womanhood, getting children dressed and giving birth to babies and the whole taking care of children and feeding them and going out to dinner and all that. I don't think I'm missing out at all, and I don't feel a part of me is missing out, but some women do. And I think I can go on with my life, just fine if I never give birth and raise children and, buy them clothes and go on road trips with them. All the things that most mothers do with their children. I think I'll be just fine because, the older I get, I've become less tolerant of all of that crying and hollering and jumping up and down and won't sit down. And that may be very selfish of me to a certain degree, but at least I'm being honest. And some women, well, I should say some females, they do go ahead and have children just because they can, and they know they don't have a lot of tolerance for that, and they end up abusing and neglecting the children, and that's very unfair and selfish as well. So we all have to, evaluate ourselves and our circumstances, and gauge our tolerance level, and see where the pulse is as far as, our ability to mother. A lot of these females are having children and they're not qualified to be mothers at all. But that's a whole nother video. But as it relates to the cycle of life and dealing with our cycles, we really have something to deal with. And I salute all females who go through these cycles every month. And, there's a part of us that is really setting us apart from these fake females, these trannies who portray themselves as a woman and they're really not. It takes a lot to be a woman. And I really don't have a lot of respect for these fake women. I don't. It's just like a man dressed up in costume, and it is an insult. It's an insult to my place as a woman. It's almost like somebody in caricature. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's almost like somebody making fun of me as a woman, and I really don't appreciate it. But nonetheless, this society has made a way for these fake women. But I would like for them to know there's so much more to being a woman other than dressing up with a pocketbook and high heel shoes, a wig, and lipstick. You know? And thank God for being a natural woman and everything that comes with it. I welcome that, including the menstrual cycle, the menstrual flow. Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. It's a part of being a woman. And as long as we're women, that's what comes with it. It's part of the territory. And it is what it is. Hello, the three people in the chat. How are y'all doing tonight? Well, this evening. What time is it? Oh my God, I've been sleeping all day. I thought it was night. It's only 3:54 p.m. And I'm gonna probably get back in the bed as soon as I turn this video off. I'm just sleeping, sleeping, sleeping. And oh my God, I was gonna go to the pharmacy and get my antibiotics, but I'm so tired. And I'm gonna wait till tomorrow because I gotta go to Walmart anyway to pick up something. And I might as well just wait and go to both places tomorrow. And I'm contemplating if I wanna go out because I have to walk down the street and get me something to eat. It's so cold out there. And that's not good to be in here with the temperature as hot as it is. I got it on 80 degrees and then go out there in that cold, cold air and then come back and forth. That's not good. So I was thinking maybe I could order a pizza. But I started thinking about how so many people are not clean when they order the pizza. And I'll never will forget how that nasty heathen, that black boy, spit in that pizza over in Detroit, I think it was. Do y'all remember that? And I think he's in jail now. So I'm pretty sure he's not the only one spitting in pizza. I've really tried to wean my safety as well. So I'm not really hungry. I got me some orange juice, and that's really helping me get my strength back. I'm feeling stronger today. And I ate my the rest of the chicken and shrimp carbonara from Olive Garden. It was really good. And I don't know. Maybe I will go out and get something else. You know, a lot of people use that Uber Eats. I don't know if I want to use that. Plus, I don't have enough room on my phone, storage space on my phone to download the app. But I don't like the idea of some stranger going out and picking up my food. Everybody is not clean, and it's so many low down people out here. But anyway, um, thank you, US. Anyway, I was so glad to share this story that I found very fascinating with you guys concerning Mary Kenner. And you all can go online and find out more information about her if you're interested. And I salute Mary Kenner for making our lives better concerning the maxi pads. And, you know, I think she revolutionized the world with this invention. And I am so glad for her. And shout out to her. And I don't know if she had any children and if the children were able to carry on the legacy or what. I would really like to know if she has some children or if her husband is still alive or whatever. Or if she even had a husband. I don't know if she even had a husband. But we can go online and research more about her. But there are so many other great black inventors. Truth be told, quiet as it's kept, the world is, how it is because of so many black inventors. And it's a shame that they don't want to give us our due respect. But so many things that we use today were invented by black people. We're very smart people, and it is what it is. So you all have a great day, and I'm gonna go and nurse this cold, and we'll talk again real